Our next guest is an Emmy and Grammy-nominated comedian you know from SNL Portlandia, documentary now on Wednesday. He's also the music director for our very own HE Band, which just earned him an Emmy nomination for Outstanding Music Direction. Please welcome our very good friend, Fred Armisen.
Seth?
Well, first of all, let's start with this Emmy nomination. You and Eli Janney nominated, of course, Cher with the entire band. We told you, you had no idea.
No idea. No, I really didn't. I had no idea at all.
We texted you congratulations, and you had no idea what we were talking about.
For real.
Yeah.
That was a real thing.
Yeah.
But it's great. What a nice honor. It's such a nice thing.
And I think people, obviously they hear you, what you play every night, but I don't think people fully appreciate that you and the band write every song between every commercial is brand new and you write it every day.
Yes, we come in around 12:30 and we just come, they're pretty short songs, they're just instrumentals, but every day we just write a bunch of originals.
Have you loved that?
I love it. It's the best. It's the best because it's the best because it's always just first thought, where you don't have any time to think, like, is this a good song? We just keep it simple, just a couple chords, and, it's great.
I had no idea what I wanted to do for music on this show. I don't really have a sense of that sort of thing. And to his credit, Lorne Michaels had this wonderful idea. His first. No, but Lorne had this great idea. Do you remember, because I think maybe, I can't remember if I called you or he called you, or?
I talked to him, and it was sort of like I was done with SNL, I was ready to move to LA, and then Lorne was like, we need someone to curate a band. So, these are friends of mine. I've known Les Savy Fav and Girls Against Boys for such a long time, and I wanted the sound to be like sort of indie rock and punk, like just for a late night show. I thought that would be like a good sound to have. So I just called these guys up, and it just happened.
It's been such a... incredible gift for me to be here every night and hearing you guys play. I also love that we get to do comedy together when you're here. I think, understand you more, what you bring to comedy more than what you technically bring to music.
I know, that is definitely the case. I remember 2023, we've always had like a 20-inch ride cymbal up until 2023. So we got a 22-inch. We put it on the stand. I don't know if you remember playing, we do opening theme.
Yeah.
Seth starts and he goes into the monologue. So I was like, oh, he's not gonna talk about the ride cymbal. So I was like, and I waited, I was like, he's gonna bring it up, get to the end of the show, and I pointed to the cymbal and you're just like, Freddie. And I'm like, it's so wild. It's a $400 cymbal.
Wow.
And I think the audience heard it. They knew. They were like, that's...
Do you think that the show maybe went weird for them? Because they're like, is he not going to talk about it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
You, obviously, due to your very busy schedule, and it was something we knew when this started, that you would leave to do other things. And we were very happy that that was the case. And then out of necessity, we started a guest drummer program. We've had over 200 drummers fill in.
It's incredible. It's incredible.
And I have such an appreciation for what a different drummer brings to a band. Do you hear about that out in the world?
Oh, all the time. I mean, it's like, I think the drummer world appreciates it so much. And it's,
How does a drummer show appreciation?
Well, the first thing is they either go like, hey, I want to play on the show.
Yeah.
But other than that, they'll go like, hey, it was really fun. That was really good. But it is great. The other thing is, like, I love playing the drums. That's, like, always been a part of my life, but I love it. I love that for, like, this amount of time I've gotten to do this job, and I just love drumming. And there were times where we wouldn't do a bit, like, we wouldn't do that exchange, and I would just drum the whole show. And I was like, wow, today was like a work day of playing the drums. And we've had all kinds of guests, and, Bob Mould, of course, is here today. He was one of our first guests, and, a real hero of mine and now a friend, but we've had all kinds of like singers, guitar players. We had Marnie Stern for a long time playing guitar, so it's been really enriching and really incredible.
Your style has changed over the years. Your love of drums has not. We have a clip of you. I think this is playing in Nebraska in 1994. Here's Fred playing the drums. And here was an early Fred look over there. You like what you see. Hot and weird.
I'm weird.
Today's very bittersweet for me.
Oh, Seth, we're always going to see each other.
I know
We
that,
always
but I
are.
want
We
to
always
say,
are.
having you here when this started, I felt very cool to have you guys, and that was a very important thing to feel. But I mostly just felt very safe. And when this started, it's been so fun to have you here the last 9 years. That first year, feeling safe,
Oh, buddy.
thank you, buddy.
Buddy, always.
I love you so much.
I love you so much. Thank you for this.
Fred Armisen, everybody. You can
thank
see
you.
him in the Netflix series Unstable. The second season is streaming now. I'll be right back with a special performance from Fred, Bob Mould, and the A-Team Band. Everybody.